so on. So I basically want to go into the detrimental effects that masturbating with porn actually entails that most people really do not understand, because for young men like, or a young guy like myself, masturbation is just intertwined with porn. You can't think of like masturbation without porn, which is actually ludicrous because porn is actually just a recent sort of thing that just happened. It just popped up very recently, actually. You know, our ancestors didn't really have pornography, as you do know. So basically, I just kind of want to go through certain things I found during the early stages of this experiment I've been doing. Okay, so I'm basically just gonna kind of give you a little outline in this little video about little bullet points that I've been finding that not a lot of people really understand or really experience. So I just want to present the idea, you know, of what I found and how it's affected me. Okay, so one thing I found when you're masturbating to porn, what it actually does is it really how to explain this, it can really just kill your motivation. Okay, it can actually ruin your day, if anything. Because I find when you masturbate to porn on like your downtime, you know, it just basically just kills your drive on a very widespread level. It will basically just slaughter any willpower you have. Okay, and what it also can do as well, it leads you in a spiral of bad habits that you've had. So let's say that you've been eating clean for a good week and so on, and then you resorted back to masturbating with porn constantly. You know, you're hooked on it, you know, and you're also down. Like when you're down and then you masturbate, what it does is just crushes the little willpower you have. Okay, and just leads into a spiral of bad habits, and your failure rate of succeeding actually goes down immensely. Okay, so let's say that you had like a no carb sort of challenge or no sugar. You're more likely to resort back to those if you masturbate to porn. Okay, because like what it does, it really just fucks up your brain. It to explain it is like when you do, you just feel bad after. You know, you don't feel like you're totally there. That's what I found. I just don't feel like I'm totally there, that I'm missing something. You know, that's why you'll have a lot of guys feeling very pathetic after, and just not themselves after they've jerked off or ejaculated watching porn. In my honest opinion, I find the reason for that is because when you're watching porn, you're becoming like less and less connected to your body. Okay, so you're not totally present, and when you're not present to the moment, you are not at your highest, you're not at your best, you're not at your happiness. Healthy masturbation, you start to masturbate from the real core. You start to feel your body. You know, you ejaculate and you orgasm from actual sensation in your body and not just the mind. You know, you're not getting caught up in the mind of what it's supposed to feel like. You're masturbating and you're ejaculating, you're enjoying the experience of the full body. You know, you feel it all. You know, the only way you can ejaculate during that is by having a good sensation, so you know what you like during this process, which you don't really get to do when you're watching something on the screen, and something that you're not a part of, that you can't feel, that you can't experience. You're just watching it from a screen. So when you're watching it from a screen, the main work is up here and it's not in the whole body, and that's where it becomes problematic for people. And that's why you'll have a lot of guys that during sex, like I've had guys tell me that sometimes, like, I know how crazy this is going to sound, but masturbating to porn is sometimes better than the actual real thing. Okay, And when you think about it, you think that, oh, maybe it's because the girl is ugly and whatever, and all these sort of things are like outside of yourself. But in actuality, it's because you don't totally know how to totally enjoy the experience. Okay, I'm not saying that if you watch porn you'll never have great sex ever again. The idea I'm trying to entertain to you is that you will find that your best sexual experiences will be when you're totally present. And the only way I feel you can be totally immersed into the sexual act with another person is to have a clear head. Okay, best way to explain this, I find that, and I'm gonna go out on a leg here. Okay, people will disagree with me. Your best sexual experiences is when you are clear-headed, where you're not thinking about anything other than what's going on in that moment. And a lot of people will disagree with me, but I personally think that the best sexual experiences someone can have is when they're totally clear-headed, and the only thing that's going on in their mind is that this is hot. Not this, like, not Jenna Jameson's scene with like whoever was so hot, and they're basically having sex in their head. They're not having sex with their body. Sex doesn't happen just in the head. Okay, you're not logically doing anything when you're having amazing sex, when you're totally there, when you're orgasming. You know, it's not with your head. You know, it's with the body. Okay, because one thing I found in myself is when I was very much hooked onto pornography, that a lot of the sexual experiences I didn't feel that it was that fulfilling. You know, I just felt like, you know, I had sex is cool, you know, I ejaculated, but I wasn't totally bought that sex was like this amazing sort of thing, where it was just this mind-blowing experience. And for me, it wasn't like something where it just took you away. You know, I always just felt that like it was okay. That was like my thought, like after it happened. You know, I was like, yeah, you know, like it was hot. You know, you get laid, and that's cool, that's fine. But when you really start to enjoy sex after getting off porn, it becomes this experience, this totally out-of-body experience. When you're sharing it with somebody, and the only thing you're really thinking about is like the total moment. You know, you're not thinking about like, oh, how do I make her come and so on. You're not logically thinking all this stuff. You're just in the moment, and nothing's really contrived. You're just going with the flow. Because I found when I was actually watching porn, it was more so a thing where I was just kind of getting her off and not really myself, because I had it in my head that to have good sex, the girl had to have good sex, which is true. But I find that the best sex is when you focus on yourself first and then the other person. So this is why I feel that a lot of virgins, a lot of males specifically, will be very disappointed about their first time having sex, because they have this very unnatural, very exaggerated sort of image of what sex is, and when they actually have sex with the other person, you know, they start to realize, you know, the two things are very different. You know, porn sex and real sex are very different things, okay? And even to get further, masturbating healthily and masturbating with porn are two different beasts as well, okay? So that's the main sort of thing you will begin to find out if you actually start to try to go through healthy masturbation. And just to kind of clarify what healthy masturbation is basically masturbating with a clear mind.